Hi, and welcome back to my channel. We are playing City Skylines 2 and we are building the city of Springville. If you are new to my channel, we are having some issues down by the harbor. And if you're old to my channel, you knew that I were having some issues down there, but I'm not handling those issues right now. I wanted to expand the area where I placed down the new farming industry. And I also wanted to get into the water, electricity, the dam. And that one made a road over from the oil fields to the new area. So that made me just want to expand that area some and make that a quiet, cozy area where there isn't a lot of issues happening. But we do have some traffic situations popping up in this area also, and that is the smaller highway that is coming off of the mountains in the distance. That one gets quite crowded at some times of the play or the game, so I might have to handle that one also. But I wanted to add another way onto the highway from this new area. So I did that, and it's not the most beautiful one, but it does what it's supposed to do. And I have previously spoken about that I wanted this area to be full of services, and I see that I actually placed down two elementary schools. I noticed that later when I was playing, so I actually did delete one of them because it's kind of unnecessary to have two elementary schools that close to each other in a kind of not high density area. So yeah, that was a mistake. But yeah, this area I wanted to be a low density residential area close to the farming district. Probably will place down some other industry in this area also, probably or hopefully industry that isn't that noisy and that polluting. But I guess I can't choose which kind of industry I want to be placed down there. So, but I also placed down a high school here just so they can have that one because I'm kind of struggling with the education system. There are not being educated enough people to fill the positions that needs highly educated people. So I just rather place down more schools than having the schools being so full that people can't even get into an elementary or high school. So that is the thought behind it. But yeah, two elementary schools that close, it was kind of not necessary. And I didn't notice until way later that there were two. There was a short power crisis, but that one is fixed now. No need to worry. They have power. People are happy again. But yeah, the power crisis they will occur at from time to time because I tend to place down my power plants quite close to each other in one area, and that makes the bottleneck situation occur from time to time. So I just have to make sure that I have some other places where the power can run through, not just the streets, but also the transmitters, or I don't know what they're called, but yeah, the other smaller power places where you can have the power distributed into the city in other ways than just big power plants. And I know that they don't produce power, but they help with the distribution of power throughout the city. But again, the farming area, it's turning out to be a kind of a leafy, bendy area, palmy area. But I'm still kind of struggling with the placement of that area. I had to place it there because there were fertile land underneath, so I could use more of that. But I feel it's kind of close to the urban area. So I have to figure out a way that the urban area isn't building up very high the closer I get to the farming area. But as I'm still struggling with the air pollution from the industry and also the ground pollution, I'm kind of lacking places to place down or center the higher rise buildings. So I will also have to look into how to do that in a way that it looks more natural than it will be if I just place down the higher rise building almost to the point where the farms start, because that will just look terrible, I think. But I'm not seeing much of the high density residential demand in the game right now, so it's not a really big problem. It's just I wish that there were more high rise residential buildings, and the commercial demand is still crazy, so I can place down lots of commercial areas, but I want more of the commercial areas to be situated in the urban area with the high rise commercial or high density commercial areas zoning. So yeah, I'm struggling with that because I want it to look nice. I've said it many times. I'm not good at building the roads, but at least I want the city to look nice, even though my roads doesn't always look the nicest. I still want to enjoy the game, even though my road building skills are terrible. But let me know if you think I should just expand the urban area up until it meets the farming area. Is that a cool idea? Is that something special for Springville, or will it just look crazy? And you might be noticing that there is a lot of traffic building up on the highway going over to the harbor, and you might be shouting at me that I'm overlooking that. And yeah, I'm I'm overlooking that. I notice it, but I don't want to get into that because that means that I will have to build roads, or maybe I will have to build trains, and I don't want to get into that right now, but I know I will have to get into that. So my first attempt to handle that is by placing down a subway station in the Old Town area, or the Leafy Birdsong Palmy Square, just so that maybe some of the people going to the harbor area will go by subway instead of going on the highway. But that's not the biggest problem, I guess. And the biggest problems is the trucks, and to get something else transporting the goods from the industrial area over to the harbor area, I will have to use a train, I think. But it's such a short distance, so it feels kind of unnecessary to have a train going from that side to the other side. But yeah, we will have to see where I end up in that situation. But as I place down the subway stations, you can see that the people are doing what I want them to do. They are choosing the subway, and by that, they are not producing more cars on the street and more buses on the street. And yeah, they are doing what I want them to do. So that is kind of great. That is a success. But yeah, and I'm also spending some time on trying to make the connections, like the trams, placing down the tram stations close to the subway stations, and also some of the bus lines and bus stops close to the subway stations just to see if people then also will use the subway more, just to make the public transportation work in have a good flow in it. So I'm not placing down that many more buses because they keep blocking the traffic everywhere. But watching this as I'm commenting on my recordings, I kind of think I found an idea on how to use the buses most efficiently and how to use the trams more efficiently and how to use the subways. Because if I center the subways to the most populated areas and then use the trams for people in the medium occupied areas to get to the subway, and then in the smaller or lower density or lower populated areas, I could use buses to transport them to the trams, and then the trams to transport them to the subway, and then the subway to transport them to the industrial areas, and from the industrial areas. So maybe that is the solution. Comment below if you have any comment to that. Just a thumbs up if that is something somebody has tried, because the traffic in the leafy palmy area, it's not that high, so buses can run in that area. They will cause some traffic jams because of their sizes, but maybe that will be a better solution to everything. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down in the comment field if I just figured out a smart idea. Thumbs up for great ID, smart ID. Thumbs down if that is just making it more complicated and will cost me more work than it's bringing me peace of mind. But where I live in my city, we don't have trams. We have one tram going from the city center out into the forest, or almost. It's an old tram. It's from very, very long ago. It was built. But when I was a kid, many years ago, there was trams running in the city, but they decided to cut them out, so we don't have any trams. I think it would be good for our city to have trams, and we don't have subways either. It's not a big city. It's the third largest city in Norway where I live, so we're not that many people, but we do have something called a metro bus. It's like a long, long bus, and in my opinion, that's not the greatest idea in my city because we have a lot of snow in the winter, and the metro buses aren't. They're crashing all the time in the winter, and they're cancelled, and they're not for our city. So I really wish they would look into having trams in the city because that would be great. Or subways. I don't think they will build subways because I think that will just make them stuck because of my city being built on a lot of Viking burial plots, and yeah, they wouldn't be able to build underground that much. I think I'm no archaeologist, but I think that is something that will cause them a lot of trouble. So I don't think we'll have subways, but trams. I would like that in my city because it's we have buses and metro buses, but yeah, trams would be great to have. But yeah, I turned my attention to the area which is causing me so much trouble. And it seems like there is a lot less cars in this area right now. And it seems that people might be choosing the public transportation over to that area, and that is great. Now I just have to handle the truck situation, and I'm dreading that one because I can't see a good solution to that problem. And adding more lanes to the existing roads, I don't know if that is doing anything because there will still be the same amount of trucks driving into the harbor. They will just have more space to be standing in a traffic jam. There will be more cars beside each other. So it will fix the long lines of cars on the highway, maybe, but it will not fix the problem of the cars just or the trucks just choosing to use one of the entrances and exits places of the harbor. I wish that they would just drive in at one of the entrances and off or exit at the other entrance so that we could get a flow of traffic. But and that would then I would be able to just make the road going past the harbor one way road instead of having two ways. I don't know, maybe a one way road will fix more of this, but there will still be a jam by the entrance to the harbor. So please also let me know if there is something I'm doing wrong with the harbor that is causing me to just have the cars going in and out at one point. But yeah, not a lot of cars, just trucks. And this is really a situation because the queue on the highway is it's going very very far. You you will be stuck in traffic for quite a while if you try to travel to the harbor. And I don't really know where all the trucks are coming from. Are they coming from the industrial area? Then maybe the train ID is something I should look into. But if they're coming from other places also, maybe I have to build a train track from the other side of town also. Maybe just to get some trucks off the road. Will trains get trucks off the road? I guess so. Maybe. But with that question up in the air, I will end this episode right now. I hope that you enjoyed. Please press the like button. Do comment below if you have any suggestions to my troubles, and do subscribe to my channel. And I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you again soon. Bye.